Hello there, good day. I hope that you are safe and well. And today we are going to continue our 4-part series journey of transformational change. This is obviously a monumental time for all of us. The entire world is amid transformation. We kicked off our 4-part series of transformational change with part 1, individual transition and change. Last week we addressed part 2, steps to developing an effective change leadership strategy. And today we will address the 10 pitfalls to avoid in order to successfully lead change. And next week, lastly, we will address the ways to increase change maturity throughout your organization. Now let us tackle those 10 pitfalls that your organization should avoid in order to successfully lead change. So number 1, don't take too long to make decisions. A pitfall is taking too long to make decisions in your organization. If your organization takes a long time to make decisions, this is a challenge for transformational change. If there's a culture of indecision, this can be a very long-term obstacle for your change because you may not be able to decide what to do and you may get stalled and stifled at various phases within the transformation. The second obstacle is conflicting or unclear prioritization. And obviously this can make it difficult to make decisions in and of itself. But if there's a disconnect, especially among your C-suite leadership regarding what the organization's priorities are, then it's going to be very difficult for you to make a transformational turn with your organization. You have to first align your leadership around the desired priorities within the organization and then the desired transformation itself. So this is very important because a lack of prioritization can cause confusion, can cause inefficiencies, waste of time, and waste of money. Thirdly, if the environment is highly siloed, this is going to be an obstacle for transformational change. Silos are organizational obstacles in general. They are success killers. On any given day, silos robs organizations of creativity, innovation, and efficiencies. Transformational efforts are not any different in this. It's going to be difficult to get the collaboration that will be needed in order to be successful if silos are mastering your environment. Siloed organizations will face difficulty in decision making and implementation and making things happen in a successful way. Number 4, risk-averse cultures are often very difficult places to make transformational change happen. Transformations carry a significant amount of risk. And the risk is because things are unknown. There's a lack of predictability. So the less predictability, the more risk that is going to be inevitably involved. So while risk-averse organizations will want to be better, they may not want to risk that discomfort that is going to be needed in order to make those leaps that will need to make a true transformational change happen. So you may be able to make incremental changes with risk-averse organizations. However, transformational changes will be difficult. It will be very painful for those risk-averse organizations. And number 5, weak technology infrastructures that are often serving as obstacles in transformational change. Because organizations oftentimes initially don't realize that their current technology may be outdated and does not support the transformational change that they're desiring and going after. For example, an organization may want to use, a very cutting edge process that is tied to cutting edge software. However, the employees may have outdated hardware, outdated computers. So this is a reminder that all elements of your organization must be analyzed in order to ensure that they align for the transformational change that you desire and decide to go after. Number 6 obstacle for transformational change is a lack of needed skill sets. Sometimes organizations will reach for the stars in transformation only to realize that they don't have the right skill sets in-house in order to make the transformation happen successfully. Sure, training is available. However, the training may not be sufficient for the amount of transformation that you are seeking. The training may not be enough as far as from a time and complexity level to make the transformation happen. Sometimes your staff will need to be augmented with the right skill sets to make the change happen within the time frame that you're desiring. And number 7 obstacle is inconsistent business processes. When you do not have standardized processes, it's difficult to build an effective and efficient roadmap for transformation. It's going to be difficult to give consistent instructions, for example, to everyone, if there is a lack of consistency in what the team is doing and what's accepted right now. So you first want to standardize the business process expectations, the consistency level expectations, so that they can receive aligned instruction and plan in a consistent manner that applies consistently across your workforce in those respective teams. Number 8 is quite a common obstacle to transformation, and that is a lack of sufficient budget. So when we lack budget within a transformation, many times organizations, they know what they want, but they don't necessarily know what they want to pay. However, they do accept the fact that they're going to pay something. So that insufficient budget is an obstacle because sometimes either clarity of what the budget is unclear. They may need 3 times more than they have budgeted for, or sometimes they just plainly want, champagne with a beer budget. That's going to be a challenge with getting successful transformation to happen. Number 9, which is a very important one, is a lack of leadership support. There's a great rave for bottom-up change. Though controversial, I'm admittedly a skeptic of this commonly, belief that bottom-up change can happen. Can it happen sometimes? Absolutely. But can it have long-term success? Yes, but oftentimes not. Bottom-up change is difficult because it's difficult to make the progress needed in a true transformation. That means a holistic big change without having those highly influential team leaders in place. When leadership support is gained, we often see a very faster pace and a more long-term sustaining pace of change. When the leadership support is not there, we often see a waste of time and a waste of resources. Oftentimes we see hundreds, if not thousands, of effort hours spent for an effort to only be shut down, or sometimes even worse, ignored until death by the leadership. So therefore, any transformation, in order for it to likely be successful, especially on a long-term basis, is going to need leadership support. Leadership support is usually needed for encouraging participation and engagement. Leadership support is needed, obviously, for financial investment. And number 10 is an overall lack of sufficient desire for this transformational change. Similarly to lack of leadership support, a lack of sufficient desire among team members may lead to the death of the transformational change. Yes, a few right people can make a transformational change happen. However, if there are not enough of those right people who have the right influence, the right investment, the right expertise to make it happen, then it will not happen. Therefore, it's especially important to educate the organization with the reasons that they should desire this transformational change. You do this by understanding the benefits of the change and sharing them in a very customized manner depending upon the different audiences within your organization. Therefore, this should be communicated and communicated regularly, because if it's not communicated, then they will not know. If you have a colleague or if you have a friend who you think will benefit from this information, don't hesitate to share. If you're interested in a change class or participating in a change certification program for your organization, click the respective link. And as always, you can definitely reach out to me for an exploratory session if you want to explore any type of change coaching, transformational coaching for your organization. That link is included as well. Have a great day. I wish you the best in your transformational change. Take care.